I know that you have a lot of topics that you cover. There's a cancer one, healing cancer, and using that to put your body in your optimal state to receive that healing. What are some of the other topics that you have?
We call it coping with cancer.
Coping
I don't want anybody to think, I wish I could heal everyone's cancer, but that's not what it's about. So but part of what's going on here is we're going to teach them how to cope with their stresses in their life. Some things we can't change, but stress happens a lot of times, and we try to change things we can't. We can't change the position of the moon and the stars. There's certain things that a greater source than us will control. So what we want to do is teach people how to go with the flow, relax, like the mind over menopause process. When my wife was going through that, she asked me, she says, "Hey Patrick, I need I need something for this." So I coached her through that when she was going through her cancer treatment. She said, "I need something to listen to after I have my radiation treatment." So she started bringing her equipment in, and before she'd drive home, put it on, and the doctor's going, "What's going on there?" And we started working with Delta Oncology, and they started having all of their patients use it. And the nice thing is that people keep a positive mental attitude. Because whatever's going to happen, you might as well take the journey and be smiling along the way, and at least do it with dignity, and that's really what we're talking about.
Well, I have a personal testimony, because I used to be a completely white knuckle flyer, and I've actually had some personal sessions with Dr. Porter, which are extremely expensive, very, very, very expensive to get Dr. Porter to do personal sessions with you. And through the luxury of his process now that he has, and how you can get the whole complete package, if you will, you can take Dr. Porter home and have his processes with you to support you in anything like that. Now, with flying, it really got exacerbated. Is that the correct word?
Yes.
I don't know. Exacerbated.
It got more difficult?
Yeah, with 9/11, as it did for many people.
Yes.
And so I had Dr. Porter do a session with me, and I have not been a white knuckle flyer since then. I mean, it is absolutely amazing how phenomenal and how accessible our mind is to receive that. So
let me kind of explain to the listeners or the viewers. Our brain has a system of beliefs that was trained by our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, our family and friends. What we've created in psycholinguistics is what I call my brand of creative visualization, relaxation, where I put it all together, all of the mind technologies. There's a system we teach you. So you don't really need me. I mean, of course, I still see people on a one-on-one basis occasionally, but what we've done is we put that system in place so you can do it for yourself. So you're going to learn how to disassociate from the negatives, associate the positives. You're going to learn systems of belief. We call it mind mechanisms for the mind, because people do these things all the time. People who have figured out how to handle life under stress, like a helicopter pilot, for instance, who can do all those things and still stay focused. When you're hearing one message in one ear, one message in the other.
Traffic controller.
Yeah.
Air traffic controller.
All of those kind of people. So what we've done is we said, how can we teach that same thinking process? And it happens to be through our senses. So the creative visualization process kind of puts those controls back in the hand of the person. And in school we're taught what to think. What we do is we teach people how to think. And once you learn how to think, you can start to improve your life in 1,000 different ways. Because once you have that system in place.
How many different topics do you have, or different sessions do you have right now?
We have over 300. Right?
Over 300. So it's pretty much something for everyone, or anywhere area of your life. Before we came out and did this interview, I listened to one, or actually I listened to two. I listened to one on creativity, which was phenomenal. And I also listened to one on financial abundance, which I thought some people might be interested in this current time. And there's actually dual voices going on. You hear one voice and then you hear another voice and another voice, and if you try and keep up with it, you can't. But the key is to just let go and allow it to happen. And every time I listen to one of your processes, Dr. Porter, I come away feeling so much more alive and vibrant. Now I know that's a lot, because I'm pretty alive and vibrant anyway. So
off the charts.
But they're also great. Another thing that I want to tap into is they're great for jet lag. If you travel a lot, if your profession is that which takes you and you're traveling and you're trying to keep up with jet lag and you're crossing time zones, one day you're in Australia and one day you're in another country, this can really help, because it's like Dr. Porter said, 4 hours of sleep. So I'm sure you have people that are using it for that, all sorts of professional people.
Yeah, when we travel, sometimes we'll actually use it on the airplane. And we actually created a series for some flight attendants for US Air. and we have the Blue Sky series. So because you think about flight attendants or people in the airline industry, they don't know where they're at from one day to the next. They don't know what hotel they're waking up in, and that's stressful on the body. So the body has to go through those cycles of sleep. So each time you practice even with the Zen frames, you're going to go through a cycle of sleep. You're still going to get the brain entrainment even if you can't use the glasses, if you're just using the downloads, because we have the binaural beats in there. So the audio entraining is there. So it's audio entraining and visual entraining.
Wonderful. So for more information about Dr. Porter or any of the technology that he has presented today or any of his books, go to the link down below. And wherever you are and whatever you're doing, remember, dare to create a life you love and a world you desire to live in. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Dr. Porter, for being with us today.
That's great.